Last week, my AI model predicted the $10 and 12.5 strike prices would be in the money for TSLL, which came true. TSLL, the Tesla Bull 2X shares, closed at 12.65 by end of week. I successfully sold two 13 strike price covered calls and pocketed $50 in premium and avoided assignment. My AI model predicted 180 strike price would be in the money for Google. This came true briefly, and Google had a weekly high of 181.65. I successfully sold the 190 strike price, pocketed $25 in premium, and avoided assignment. I could have sold a closer strike price and collected more premium, but I wanted to be risk averse because I believe in Google for the long term. Check out my Google stock analysis video. I talk about the legal challenges Google is facing, along with the new LLM, large language model competition. Click that video in the top right or description. I also sold the 45 strike price for Celsius stock because my AI model believed only the 42.5 strike price would be in the money. This also came true. Celsius had a weekly high of $43.36 and closed for the week at 41.16. I was able to pocket $40 in premium without assignment. If you can make $40 in premium every week for a year, this amounts to $1,920 a year in premium. So these premiums can add up. If you want to learn more about covered calls, check out my video in the top right and description. AI prediction last week predicted SPY would be at 605 by end of week. SPY did hit a weekly high of 604.76, but SPY failed to hold these prices, going flat for the week, closing at 597. So my AI model can make mistakes and is not always correct. The QQQ also had a weekly high of 536.54, and my AI model predicted the QQQ would close at 537.5, but the QQQ failed to hold these prices and closed flat for the week at 526.96. To review my methodology, this is a data science approach where I collect historic weekly price action data, train and test the model, and then predict on the new week. And this is version 3 of the option predictor. This is a list of stocks and indexes that I cover in this weekly series, such as the S&P 500 ETF and the Invesco QQQ. For the stocks, we have Apple, Amazon, Celsius, Chipotle, Delta, TSLL, which is the most recent addition, the Tesla 2X shares, Google, NVDA, and Oxy. Now to review the potential benefits of having such a model. The main purpose is to sell covered calls. The model attempts to predict which strike prices will be in the money. We can then sell covered calls on strike prices the model predicts as out of the money by the end of the week to increase our premiums and decrease our risk. For more risky trades, we can buy calls on strike prices that the model believes will be in the money to capture on momentum trades. Now for this week's predictions for the SPY S&P 500 ETF, we see that the model predicts 602.5 and 605 will be in the money by end of week, 607.5 and above to be out of the money. Model's more bullish on QQQ with 4 strike prices determined to be in the money, 532.5 to 540 as in the money, 542.5 and above to be out of the money. For Amazon, we have the 212.5 and the 217.5 strike prices to be in the money, 220 and above to be out of the money. For Celsius, we have the $45 strike price to be in the money, 47.5 and above to be out of the money. Check out my Celsius stock analysis video, Buying Opportunity, where I perform fundamental analysis against other beverage company stocks like Starbucks and Monster. Check out Celsius in the top right and description. Chipotle stock, we have the 52.5 strike price to be in the money, 55 and above to be out of the money by end of week. For Delta, we have the $50 strike price to be in the money by end of week, 52.5 and above to be out of the money. Google is one of my favorite positions for the long term. Check out Google stock analysis video in the top right in description. For this week, we see the 177.5 and 180 strike prices to be in the money, 182.5 and above to be out of the money. Models very bullish on NVIDIA this week. The 145 all the way to 155 considered to be in the money by end of week. We've recently seen some oil price shocks in the market, and the Oxy predictions for this week 47.5 strike and 50 strike to be in the money, 52.5 and above to be out of the money. Warren Buffett does enjoy Oxy stock. I did an analysis video, value investing style analysis video on Oxy. Check out that video in the top right and description. Finally, we have TSLL, the daily Tesla Bull 2X shares, weekly prediction, $15 strike price to be in the money, 17.5 and above to be out of the money. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this update for strike price predictions, and I will see you all in the next one.